Do you ever feel like your music's just not cool enough?
Nope.
Well, I don't know about him, but in today's video, I'm here to give you some cool tricks and tips in Ableton Live. Let's get into it. First, let me apologize. I got a little bit of a cold going on, but hey, we're going to get to work. So, the first cool trick I want to go over with you guys is recording your own samples. Well, what do you mean, Joe B? I'm talking about recording your own samples, converting those into MIDI notes, and then being able to play those sounds as either a drum kit or an instrument. First thing I'm going to do is just record a few sounds. All right, so I've recorded just a couple sounds just with my own voice, kind of like a couple beatboxing sounds. So now that I have these sounds recorded, I want to turn them into MIDI notes. So I'm going to drag this loop right over top of this kick here. I'm going to zoom all the way in on it. Now I want the start of this loop to be right here at the start of this sound. Now that I have it right at the start of the sound, I'm going to click here. Then I'm going to right click. And I'm going to click Set 111 here. Now I'm going to right click in the space, and I'm going to click Slice to New MIDI Track. Create one slice per bar. I also like to turn this warp timing off. Click OK. Now, in the new track, you'll see that we have a kit pulled in here already. And I have my sound as a MIDI note. So now I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other sounds that I created. You see, we converted these into different tracks. So from here, I can just simply drag this over to my first one. I'm going to click it and hold, drag this over to my first track, and I'm just going to drag this down into the slot. And we can just simply delete this one. Let's go back to our original sample again, and let's convert the rest of these sounds. Now we're free to use them as we please. We can use these with a MIDI controller, or I could simply draw the notes in however I want to do it. After you convert these, you can simply just get rid of these clip slots here. So now I'm going to click into one of my clip slots and I'm going to make a little beat. So I got a little beat laid out here. Now I'm going to separate the hi-hat sound from the snare and the kick. I'm just going to duplicate this twice. I'm going to color them. Let's make this one the kick, this one the snare, and this one the hi-hat. I'm only sticking with a few sounds right now just to lay something out for you guys, but feel free to build your whole drum kit with any sounds you like. So now I'm going to come over here to the kick, and I'm going to get rid of everything except for the kick. I'm going to come over here to the snare. I'm going to get rid of everything except the snare sound. And on the hi-hats, I'm going to get rid of everything except the hi-hat. Now I'm free to adjust my levels and my reverb or whatever I would like on each individual track. If I want to compress anything, I can do that to just the kick, just the snare, or just the hat. Or I could also group these tracks, and I could put any effects in the group tab that I'd like. If I want to compress everything all at once, I can drag that into here, EQ, whatever you'd like to do. You know we like to change things up a bit, so at the end of the fourth bar, I'm going to add a few extra snare hits. All right, so we've got a nice little 4-bar loop going. Let's give it a listen. So we made this little beat here with sounds that we created. Pretty cool, right? And you don't only have to have a microphone to do this. I could come in here, insert a new audio track, click in one of the slots, click create, and I could import any audio file from my computer into this slot, and I could do the same thing, convert it to a MIDI note. Now that we have a little beat laid out, I want to go over another cool trick with you. So I've already separated my kick, my snare, and my hat, but I'm going to go ahead and put these back into one file because what I want to show you is how you can change your drums on the fly. All right, so I just duplicated this kick track, and I added back in the hi-hat and the snare sound, so now they'll all play at once. Now, as I'm playing this, I can come over here to the drum tab. I can click on any of these kits, and it'll change the whole kit on the fly. Really cool trick. If you don't want to scroll through all of your different kicks and hi-hats till you find something you like, just change the whole kit on the fly and see if you find the sounds you like. And now we can swap between the two. Another little quick trick I want to go over with you guys is how to put your delay on a separate track. So I'm going to come over here to the session view and I'm going to record some of these clips. All right, we've got these laid out. So now I'm going to record a quick vocal and I'm going to show you why it's good to put your delay on a separate track. Check, 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 check it out. All right, let's give it a listen. Check, 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 check it out. So what I want to do is add the delay on just the end of this clip. An easy way to do that, duplicate this track. Now we're going to turn the delay off on the first one. And we're going to leave it on the second one. Now all I have to do is come in here and just crop the part that I want the delay on. Now that we've separated the two, you'll get the delay on just this part. Check, 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 check it out. If you're doing a singing vocal or a rap vocal and you don't want the delay on your whole recording, this is a good way to go about it. I'm going to go ahead and add in a scratch. And I'm going to add an EQ to this vocal. Let's give it a listen. Check, 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 check it out. Check it out. And the last trick I want to go over with you guys is automation. So if you see this little button here, which you can't see because I'm in the way. All right, so this button here is how you go into automation mode. When you click this, you're going to see a bunch of lines, a lot of new options for you. So I'm going to automate the tempo. I'm going to come down here to the master track. I'm going to drag this up. This is everything that's within this track. So right now I have this low pass and high pass filter in here. That's why you see these options here. If I take this out, these options disappear now. So by default though, you're going to see mixer and you have some options here. You've got panning, volume, tempo. So you can automate all these functions, which is really cool. And you can simply draw this in. So let's do some stuff with the tempo. So to draw in your automation, you just click dots on here and you can adjust this however you would like. You can make gradual changes or you can make really sudden changes. Also, if you're building a song and you have a repeating chorus, you can simply drag this. You can right click and copy this. I can draw it in another spot and click paste. And it will paste the automation that you drew. It's really cool. So let's give this a listen and see what happens. Check, check, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check. Really cool. And you can automate any effect you like. Which brings me to the last thing I want to tell you guys about, and that is this low pass and high pass filter. So I've automated the tempo right here. So now if I come over here and I click low and high pass, now I'm going to get the options for this device. So right now I have it set to LP filter cutoff. As I click in here, that's going to change this knob here. So right here, when the beat changes, I'm going to drag this down and I'm going to drag it back up and let you guys see what it sounds like. All right, let's give it a listen. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. We're going to wrap it up there. I think it's time for Joe B to go take a nap. All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you learned something. There's a lot of cool ways to go about making music in Ableton. If you know what it is you want to do, there is a way to do it. So don't forget the most important thing. Get in there, make some music. Peace. Check it out. Check it out.